Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bo from Bo Learns Pro Wrestling. And we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the fallout results of WrestleMania 35. And I also want to do a watch along with the best match of the night, which for me personally, and I think for a lot of other fans too, the match of the night had to be the WWE Championship involving Kofi Kingston challenging against the new Daniel Bryan about midway through the card. So I want to talk a little bit about what had happened at WrestleMania 35, and we will also do a match watch along. I'll give you the timestamp on where I start the match. So if you want to go ahead and open up your WWE app if you have it and watch along with me. I'm going to be doing a little bit of commentary of the big spots, a breakdown of kind of what's going on to build this match up and why it was effective and resonated with a lot of fans. So some stats about WrestleMania 35 before we go ahead and go into the breakdown. I know the last video we talked a little bit about WrestleMania 34 match times and how long the card took. If I recall, there were 11 total matches booked for WrestleMania 34, not including the pre-show segments. Total time for the main card was 5 hours, 10 minutes, 54 seconds for WrestleMania 34. So I have this lovely breakdown from CagesideSeats.com. Writer credit to Kane A. Knight. Whoever this writer is a stud because they actually took the time to break down the match times and give us a little bit of the stats for WrestleMania 35. The main card of this pay-per-view lasted 5 hours, 24 minutes, and 16 seconds, and featured 12 total matches from MetLife Stadium. The longest match of the night goes to Triple H versus Batista, coming in actual match time of 24 minutes and 46 seconds, and holy crap did we feel it. That was a long match between two part-timers. The second longest match goes to Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston, which, like I mentioned earlier, match of the night for me and for a lot of people. And being in the middle of the card, I remember when we were watching it live, I was telling the friends I was watching this with that, hey, it's time to go home. That's it. Where do you go from there? And progressing through the rest of that card was tough. I think it would have been a fine pay-per-view if they ended right then and there. Probably would have fit into WWE's normal pay-per-view type booking. But, they're really pushing that main event of the women's winner-take-all triple threat match. And I think it actually suffered from the length of the pay-per-view, just like WrestleMania 34 suffered from a long pay-per-view event. I mean, I had a couple buddies that went to the show. They actually left right after the entrances of the women's triple threat, and they got real lucky because I guess there's some issues with transportation getting out. Note to self, if I ever go to a WrestleMania, I am not taking an Uber or a Lyft, because I'm sure that you've heard from a lot of other commentators, a lot of other vloggers, a lot of other podcast people that talk about WrestleMania, that they had some trouble after that show ended. I heard stories of people waiting till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, which, by the way, after WrestleMania finished in that open air stadium, it started pouring rain. So you had a lot of people just kind of stuck in that New York, New Jersey, just grossness, waiting to get home or get to their hotels or wherever they were staying. And it was a nightmare. Public transit actually closed up before the event finished. And there had been reports of New Jersey Transit actually putting the blame on WWE for not notifying them of the end time. So a lot of the mass transit had sent their workers home, and they weren't going to reopen for this prolonged event. So a lot of people were left stranded, and I would make the argument, and a lot of other people are making the argument, that WrestleMania does not need to be over 5 hours long. There were videos and Instagram posts of people falling asleep midway through the card. I can't imagine going to a potentially over 7 hour event and having the stamina to sit and watch this thing go down. I've personally never been to a WrestleMania live myself, and there's parts of me that think that I should experience it once in my lifetime, but it's a huge deterrent to see just how long these shows run. And they seem to get longer and longer every year. I mean, we're talking about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're looking at 12 matches for your main card. And I'll be honest, a few of these matches could have been cut because they didn't feel like they had the build for WrestleMania worthy type stuff. I mean, you had, well, if you take out the matches that involve championships, you had a Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, basically Raw match. I think they're going for the feel good. Oh, hey, Roman Reigns, he fought his illness. He's back in the ring and fighting a build to be top heel. So this is his feel good moment. But the crowd was not about this. And it was a typical formulaic Roman Reigns match. Not really any build up towards it besides Roman Reigns being considered top tier babyface and Drew McIntyre being top tier heel. There wasn't really a lot of buy-in. The Miz versus Shane McMahon match was kind of a letdown. That ran for about 15 minutes, 28 seconds, with the final spot being a suplex into a bunch of boxes. When we first watched this final spot, it got a little bit of a pop in my group, but the replays, man, the replays kind of ruined the magic, and the ending was kind of whatever, you know. The ending of the match involved Shane McMahon supposedly having the pin over the Miz just because of the way that they're situated. Does Shane really need to win that match against the Miz? I mean, the results, I guess, aren't really that important in the storyline between the Miz and Shane. The story that they were telling was the Miz is basically fighting Shane McMahon over Shane's pompous arrogance, and Shane even involving Miz's dad. Miz basically fighting for, you know, the honor of his family and making his dad proud and kind of giving Shane his comeuppance. But it really just didn't get, I think it really didn't get the babyface comeuppance delivered to Shane, because, I mean, we all know that Miz plays as a better heel. So the Miz's babyface, I don't know. The match was okay. Shane did his high flying spot. So, I mean, that's a thing. you know. And then we had the AJ Styles versus Randy Orton match. And this match actually got a lot of attention in a negative light because of actual lights. So Randy Orton had made a post on his Instagram account basically saying that he was apologizing for the light issue that took away from people in the stands being able to see their actual match. And I don't know if I've mentioned this before in former videos, but we had a similar problem when we made a road trip out to see the Royal Rumble in Phoenix, Arizona. There's a lighting rig that they stick up pretty high to, of course, showcase their talent and kind of add flair to their production. But WWE recently has had this really bad habit of pushing these very direct lights onto the crowd, causing people to have to squint and have trouble seeing the further back that they are to watch these events. We complained about it, and a lot of people started doing chants and posting on social media, and it took them, I want to say, when we were in the Royal Rumble, about halfway through the card for them to completely kill that light source. But they did the same thing. They did the same thing at WrestleMania, their biggest event. So I guess this light is here to stay as long as they keep selling tickets. But I mean, they're shooting themselves in the foot long term because people just aren't going to come out to see the events if they can't even see or watch the events. And this AJ Styles match versus Randy Orton, I mean, it was fine. They kind of ruined the build-up because I think they had a TV match beforehand, or a couple matches beforehand. It was okay. There were some really cool spots in the sense that Styles had basically faked out Randy Orton into thinking that Styles was going to jump and do his phenomenal forearm. Randy Orton turned to set up for his RKO out of nowhere and ended up having Randy Orton fall on his back as a fake out, which felt very New Japan reminiscent. So Styles bringing in that Japanese flair of, I've studied my opponent. It's not going to be that easy. We're going to do a callback to something that happened the match prior, and adds a little bit to the legacy storyline of Styles versus Orton. But otherwise, it just kind of felt like a normal TV match. And there was no title on the line. So when you have these three matches, the Roman Reigns match, a little over 10 minutes, the Miz and Shane McMahon match was a little bit over 15 minutes, and the AJ Styles versus Randy Orton match is coming in over 16 minutes. That is 40 minutes of match time, not including their entrances and the match blow-offs and all that. I mean, that's about an hour worth of programming that was pretty unnecessary. And even, they even had a Kurt Angle retirement versus Baron Corbin, which was pretty depressing. I mean, the match only lasted about 6 minutes, which is sad to see Kurt Angle get a 6-minute match to be his last match against, again, Baron Corbin, which Kurt Angle losing is the very old school way of booking a retirement match in professional wrestling. As you get up there in age and you're kind of the grizzly old vet, you use the star power that you generated when you were in your prime to help put over younger talent. And so Kurt Angle went out on his back, let Corbin get the win. So hopefully WWE does a ton with Baron Corbin, because, I mean, that's just a sad way to go. And I don't know if Corbin is going to get the right type of heat for it. That's left to be seen. But the end of an era with Kurt Angle going out on his back. And did we really need that match? It's a nice moment for Kurt, but it just felt weird. So let's go ahead and switch over to the match of the night for me. We'll do a watch along. So I have my WWE app opened. I'm going to start at the timestamp of 2 hours, 9 minutes, 7 seconds. This is when the before match promo starts. You should see on your screen the Empire State Building lit up with the Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston face off on the sides of the building. All right, I'm going to give you a countdown. Get your screen to 2 hours, 9 minutes, 07 seconds. 3, 2, 1, press play. So in my last video, I talked a little bit about how WWE likes to do these promo packages right before, just to kind of catch you up if you haven't been watching the TV product. So right now, they're giving Kofi Kingston some shine. Basically, they're telling the story of when he came out in 2008. He's been in the biz for 11 years. He was known for his high-flying hijinks. Intercontinental champion in 2009. U.S. champion in 2010. More high-flying stuff. The coolness and creativity of him saving himself during the Royal Rumbles. The New Day and their rise to fame. Now it's 2019, and Kofi Kingston puts on a show in the Elimination Chamber, which, by the way, was not his original spot. He actually came in as a last-minute replacement for Mustafa Ali. And he took it and ran with it. Now they shift over to Daniel Bryan, the original B-plus player, who is now turned heel, carrying the hemp belt, using the line that basically was given to him, and turning it on its head, and now calling Kofi the B-plus player. And here's Kofi fighting off all the people on SmackDown that Vince McMahon had set up. Beats 5 men, single night, faces off Daniel Bryan, tired from the gauntlet. Daniel Bryan just puts the hurt on him. Obviously unfair advantage. Oh man, the odds that he has to take, or the odds that he has to overcome. Well, the crowd's behind him. So here comes the New Day with Xavier Woods and Big E going in a tag team gauntlet. And they're trying to win him his spot for WrestleMania. Some showcasing. I gotta say that Xavier Woods has been such an advocate for Kofi Kingston. And Big E too. Uh, but they have really helped sell the idea of Kofi being a main event player. And the New Day, whether you love them or hate them, you think their gimmick has gone stale. They really helped build up Kofi-Mania. So it's crazy to think that Kofi coming in as a last minute replacement in the Elimination Chamber and the run to get to be the big time event when, again, their original plan was Mustafa Ali to get some shine, and he took the ball and ran with it. So here comes a New Day. Crowd is psyched. Fans chanting, signs are out. Kofi's hyped up. Commentators are really putting over this respect for a veteran. 11 years. Big time event. Nobody expected him to have a chance to go for the title. So there's a box that Big E has. What's in the box? What's in the box? Which, who knows, when I originally watched this, we were thinking, oh, maybe the old belt is back because the new Daniel Bryan has the hemp belt. Maybe they, for some reason, got the leather belt back. I probably would have waited to bring out the gift, but they registered the gift as something that we can look forward to if Kofi wins. Daniel Bryan comes out. Commentary is putting over Daniel Bryan having to take this matchup seriously. And that's the right thing to do. Commentary can really add a depth to the storyline that people don't naturally realize. Think of it as narration. Here's Daniel Bryan soaking up the moment, giving that holier than thou look. He's better than everybody. A little bit of tension forming between the New Day and Rowan. New Day hyping up Kofi. Crowd going nuts. The energy that the New Day are putting into this, really selling this. Jesus, that belt. Look at this. Look at this. They freaking put a recycling emblem into the presentation of the belt. I thought whoever did that did a fantastic job. It's a little extra detail, just adding to this characterization of Daniel Bryan being this earth conscious, planet conscious type person. All right, the standoff starts. And here you go. The New Day hyping up the crowd. Beautiful build. Feeling each other out. Okay, we got a headlock, some chaining going on. Oh, they break. Kofi-Mania chants. Look at this. They're soaking up the moment. Good stuff. Some more chaining. Ooh, Kofi switches it up. Cover, switch around, Daniel Bryan. They're back and forth, pretty evenly matched. That's the story that they're telling. Kofi can hang. Oh. Kofi throws a drop kick after flipping out. Over the rope. Kofi getting to shine. They shoot a live backstage viewing. Daniel Bryan steps out. He's got to readjust, gather his bearings. Daniel Bryan smacking up Kofi. Another vicious uppercut. Daniel Bryan showing that, well, if wrestling isn't working, gonna beat him up a bit. Kofi throws him off, takes a shoulder block. Daniel Bryan coming through, universal spot. Oh, catches him. Threatens the surfboard. Daniel Bryan gets him up into the surfboard. So, Daniel Bryan is showing that his game is submission based, pure wrestling based. He's going to work Kofi, old school style. And this is important because Kofi is more the high-flying, striker, acrobatic. So he starts throwing some uppercuts, showing that he can match up evenly with Bryan. Bryan running the ropes. Double stomp kind of almost looked like they're going for an in-between, a drop kick and a double stomp. Looks fine. Daniel Bryan sells it well. Could have been an issue. Still good. Hasn't taken the crowd out of it. Daniel Bryan sweeps the leg. Gets kind of into a muffler position. Works to his back. Slow, methodical. Grinding his face into the mat. Some forearms. Really slow in the pace. Kofi flips out. Kofi gets the boom leg drop. He's showing the setup. Daniel Bryan rolls out. Give him the old baseball slide drop kick. Sends him out the ring. Kofi looks like he's going big. Oh! What a spot. Kofi jumps. Looks to try to hit Daniel Bryan with an aerial attack. Takes a big bump off the edge of the commentary tables. Selling the elbow and the gut. Ooh. No matter what angle that you shoot that from, for camera angles, it looked vicious. Daniel Bryan's going to take advantage of this. Knee in the back. Another knee in the back. Knee to the side. Daniel Bryan really working the core. Taking advantage of that shift in momentum. Daniel Bryan gets on top. Ooh. Needed the back. Goes for the pin. 2 kickouts. Kofi still selling the gut. He is still down. Another knee to the gut. Daniel Bryan's got the back body lock. Kofi tries to work up out of it. Kofi gets up to his feet. And Daniel Bryan just wrestles him back down to the ground. Daniel Bryan showcasing his wrestling prowess. Rolls him over for a pin. Still has back position on him. Again, Daniel Bryan being consummate pro. Giving Kofi a lot of time to sell that core, sell those abs. Kofi fighting off that grip. Oh, and again, Daniel Bryan takes him back down on the ground. He is not giving up that grip. Goes for the pin again. Another pin. Still has that vice grip around his waist. Kofi throwing back elbows to try to pick up this grip. Daniel Bryan still holding on for dear life. Throws him in the corner. Crowd giving the yes chant. Daniel Bryan is stuck in the corner. Oh, Daniel Bryan gives him a leg sweep to go face first. Oh! Daniel Bryan's signature corner to corner. Oh! Kofi goes for something flying. Daniel Bryan catches both legs. Stretching the abdominals. This is the issue that they've been working on throughout the match. Full Boston Crab. Is Kofi going to be able to survive? Kofi gets the break. Commentary is presenting the abdomen as the issue that Kofi's still dealing with. The pace of this match is fantastic. It's slow, methodical. This is Daniel Bryan's bread and butter as a heel. They're setting up for a turnbuckle spot. Kofi gives him a back elbow, knocks him off. Daniel Bryan throws himself back onto Kofi's back. Another fend off. The New Day is helping lead the chant for Kofi. Kofi turns around. Getting ready for a high spot. Oh! Splash onto the back. Goes to the pin. 2 counts. Kofi trying to fight through the pain. A little back and forth striking action. Little yes no. Little yes boo. Oh, they speed it up a bit. Throwing all the strikes. Daniel Bryan throws something. Up. Reverse, reverse, reverse. Pin. Pin. Kofi catches. Reverse again. Big elbow. Kofi going up top. Pin, pin, reverses everywhere. Daniel Bryan setting up the label lock. Oh no. Kofi rolls through. Kick. Reverses everywhere. Crowd is still in it. Xavier Woods getting the crowd hyped. Big stomp in the turnbuckle. Daniel Bryan giving the yes chant, throwing the signals, mocking the crowd. Kofi drops down, gets the pin. 2 count. Kofi hits SOS. Kicks out. Oh no, back to the label lock. This guy in the left-hand corner is holding his head in disbelief. Is WWE going to take it away from Kofi? Daniel Bryan throwing in elbows into the abdominals. New Day pushing their partner. Kofi gets a toe on the rope. Good ring awareness. Daniel Bryan channeling some old Mick Foley over here. Got the crazed look in his eyes. Daniel Bryan with a heavy kick. Throwing the big kicks. Kofi running ragged. He's standing up to him. Up. Kofi looks like he's fighting through it. He's powering up, challenging. Send some more kicks. Daniel Bryan giving him that look of disbelief. Kofi's throwing kicks of his own. Kofi takes a gut shot with a side kick. 2 count. Jeez. I think we just saw a, what was that, reverse face lock? Suplex? Up. Rowan is getting in the way of Kofi. Up. Xavier tries to fight him off. Rowan just takes out both of the people from New Day. Kofi throws a Trouble in Paradise spinning kick. Big E gets back up. Big E getting the big man off. Huge move. Huge hope spot. Daniel Bryan jumping. Oh! Kofi slaps him as Bryan tries to do a suicide dive. New Day giving the New Day Rocks chant. Kofi throws his Trouble in Paradise. Oh! The big knee. Kofi kicks out. Daniel Bryan is thinking, what else do I have to do? Crowd is hot. Replay. Oh, man. Good maneuver. Up. Daniel Bryan takes both wrists. Oh, stomping him out. Right in front of the New Day. Vicious stomps to the face. Kofi defenseless. Takes the arm, sets up for the bell lock. This is it. He's right in the center of the ring. Kofi's fading. They're doing the arm check. Kofi's fighting through. He gives the signal. Daniel Bryan can't believe it. Throws some clubbing arms onto Kofi's face. Kofi fights off the hand. Working his legs up. Grabs the leg. Kofi's still trying to fight through. So working through this match. Giving him the ground and pound.
Daniel Bryan refusing to relinquish his grip on Kofi Kingston.
Up. Xavier Woods calling for him to give him what he deserves. Kofi giving Daniel Bryan a taste of his own medicine. Defenseless stomps. Kofi's hyped. Xavier leading the New Day Rocks chants. Kofi set up. Daniel Bryan is... throws the Trouble in Paradise. 1, 2. Oh, he's down! One Trouble in Paradise. Daniel Bryan flattens back. Crowd is going nuts. New Day is balling, celebrating. Everybody's showing love. Huge moment. Man, I've already seen this match one time, and I can literally feel my eyes tearing up a little bit. I mean, I'm not crying. There might be sand where I'm recording, but here you go. They revealed the leather belt, Kofi's nameplates on them. Huge. Beautiful. Fireworks going off. Now, ladies and gents, we are 2 hours and 45 minutes into the card. We are at the halfway point. I mean, they're bringing the kids in too. Oh, so adorable. So how do you follow this match in terms of a booking perspective? That's what's nuts. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video. So, what a match! Obviously, match of the night for me. I would say perfect build up. The time they took to tell the story in the ring just was enhanced by the performance outside of the ring as well. Xavier Woods working his butt off, and Big E as well, getting the crowd hyped, initiating some of the chants, knowing when to ramp up, knowing when to let the match kind of slow down on its own. I mean, this was overall, with the pacing and the chaining, the high spots, the outside involvement, that was a 23-minute and 45-second match, bell to bell, for Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston. And that's how you do it. I mean, that match felt like a WrestleMania match. So there you have it. That's all for today. I want to go ahead and thank my Patreon supporters, Adrian Astrofox Salas and Andrea What a Maneuver Waterbury. If you want a shout out on future videos, go to my Patreon page, link listed in the summary below. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content. If you are a pledging patron, you'll be given exclusive content, and all you freegans will just have to deal with the scraps. Sorry, guys. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did watch WrestleMania 35, hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll be back next week. Take care, guys.